This is Drake Callender, and you've been listening to the Inter Miami Podcast.
Six! It's 2 for Miami! Damian Lowe doubles the lead! Some days you can just sense something wicked. This way it comes.
That's what you were talking about. That's why that deer conversation came up.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense now. They can afford to lose a game. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll come home. We'll win it tomorrow.
Yeah. Who cares? I mean, if we need to, we can do a couple episodes of the Inner Florida Panthers podcast. I'll be down with it.
Oh God, no! I will not let that happen. That is the most toxic fan base in all of sports.
There's still time. Well, welcome everyone to the Inter Miami podcast. I am Jake Hinkton, joined by Mr. IMCFTraveller. First name Morgan. I'll never disclose the last name, but I'm just gonna go ahead and preemptively do that because I know I alternate between Trav and Morgan. So.
It's great because like every single time we record, Jay will straight up be like, this is IMCFTraveller, also known as Trav. And then 5 minutes later, we'll be like, so Morgan, what's going on?
Just exposing you. I still remember the first time I discovered who you were and no one knew. But then it wasn't even on Twitter. I think it was on the Discord. And you're like, never share this information. I was like, all right, fair.
Well, now it's just so widely known that like doesn't even make a damn difference anymore. Yeah, like I have people on my Twitter DMs who like I've never interacted with before, and they're like, "Yo, Morgan, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" It's
now the worst kept secret, but we just keep. We got to keep perpetrating the image. And shout out, I know that such a big Charleston Battery fan. And today you got that official follow from the Charleston Battery. How does it feel, bud? Do you just feel like so complete right now?
So what's really funny about that is they were following me at one point, and I'm good friends with their social media manager. And he messaged me, and he was like, "Yo, like they asked us like unfollow a bunch of people just on the down low, so like don't worry about it." I'm like, "Okay." And they followed me again today, and he shot me a text right afterwards. He was like, "Yo, check your Twitter." I was like, sweet, like 6-0 win last night, and now I follow this morning. Hell yeah.
Complete. Goals, baby, goals. Well, it's been a while since you've been on here. Been a while. It's been a tough month with travel back and forth, so we do have quite a bit to catch up on. So we'll lean on your special flavor of viewpoint here. I believe last episode was the Monterey game. So, I mean... Here's the good news. We've been on an absolute tear since really looking poor in Mexico. 3 wins in a row, Kansas City, Nashville, and last night, New England, which was quite a special return that I know a lot of the diehards, the fan base who's been here for a while was really excited to see Benja come back. And then before we get into those results, like let's just talk about this because obviously we wanted Benja to come back. We've been missing Benja. So much talent, such a young stud. But earlier in the week, they released the training video of our boy, and I can certainly speak on your behalf, but Ian Fray is back in training. Probably going to be a little bit of time before we see him step foot back on the field, but I cannot be more happy for him as a person, as a player. Just a really, really tough time for him. I mean, completely unfortunate injuries in both knees, and now finally to be able to come back, and we know what kind of impact he can provide. I mean, he is probably the most technical defender we'll have, maybe outside of Jordy, but so much talent in this kid. I really hope that he can stay healthy. I think it was you who was like, "This is not a drill. This is not a drill. Ian Fray is back."
Yeah, it's really exciting to have Ian back. And, he's been in training for, I think, a couple of weeks at this point, but now he's fully integrated into training again. He'll probably have to see a IMCF2 match or 2 before he gets first team minutes again, but he's well back on the track, and it's been nine months since his injury. So he feels stronger than ever before, and he's got 2 bionic knees now, so he's ready to go. He's gonna, RoboCop, everybody out there.
He's got robot legs. I'll tell you what, from someone who can just work the way up from the back line, I mean, he is not afraid to take it in the box and take on a defender himself and get a shot off. He is, again, just so much potential. The interesting thing is where we're gonna fit him in, right? I mean, he's obviously gonna want to play on that right side. I mean, I don't really want to see him as a center back or anything, but I think right back is where he'd be most comfortable. So Weingart, I mean, Gressel can stay in the midfield, obviously, but what do you foresee in terms of kind of how he fits into this picture in terms of lineups, or do you think he's going to be coming off the bench more? How do you see this playing out?
I see Tata finally having the personnel to run his back 5/3. You finally are going to have 3 mobile defenders or center backs that can move the ball at the same exact time. So that's exactly where I see Ian being able to slot in. And on the right-hand side of a back 3 of Freire, Toto, and then Ian Fray with Sergei Kristov, Ryan Saylor, all available off the bench as well.
And that allowed Gressel to play in that wing back role as well, which would be nice. That is a brilliant point. I mean, I know that we are so scarred by the 5 at the back, just because it's been something this club has pushed through Phil, through Tata, and it's never really worked out to the extent that the 4-3-3 that everyone really loves is. But a lot of that comes to personnel issues, and if you do have someone like Ian, a very mobile, again, could be like right center back or even play in the wing back role, I think it could be a crucial add to this team and just make us even more dangerous, but also just increase that depth we have on the midfield, because there's been times where injuries mount up and we get really thin, and then we're signing these 1 game or 3 game contracts, individuals out of IMCF2 and the academy, just to kind of plug the holes here. We got another addition with Mateus Rojas, who, that was an interesting saga of also kind of like the worst kept secret in the league outside of your anonymous handle. But finally was able to get this done, bringing him over from Corinthians in Brazil. He came on last night. He made a pretty impactful play, not giving up on the ball, and ultimately led to a goal. Overall thoughts quickly on his debut for the club.
I thought Mateus Rojas came on. He played well. He showed why before he went to Corinthians he was an exciting player. The biggest key with Mateus Rojas is going to be that he needs to stay healthy and be able to find a spot in this team and where he's going to be fighting for minutes alongside Benjamin Cremaschi, Robert Taylor, and among others. So if he's able to get consistent run of play, then he'll turn around and he'll be able to be an exciting player for Miami, and especially if he can stay healthy, which is a uniquely Miami problem.
Indeed. He's from Paraguay. He has played with the national team a bit. I believe the last appearance was in 2022. So it looks like we're not going to run the risk of losing him to any other outside tournaments, like unfortunately is going to happen with several of our players as this season progresses. But I mean, hey, stack up as many points as you can now, because we all know the dichotomy of this team with a Messi and without a Messi. I mean, Carey unlocks the rest of the team, however you want to phrase that. When he's gone, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. So we need to load up as many of these points as we can. But hey, I mean, coming off of the undesirable, somewhat defeating time in Mexico with the CCC. I mean, 3 wins in a row. It's hard to argue with. The fan base seems very high. If we lose 1 game, there's a lot of people that come out of the woodwork and start complaining, but the results are speaking for themselves. Puts us top of the table in the East, top of the Supporter Shield chase. But to be fair, we do have an extra game played. But how I guess, what's your level of confidence or comfort here with where we are now, and then what this summer would look like? I know your dog's happy. I can hear him.
My dog Zoe in the background, she is happy with Miami's form right now, but it's going to be a very difficult 2 months in the summer during Copa America and the Olympics, which I think a lot of people are also forgetting about. Is Miami's obviously going to lose Lionel Messi to Argentina for the Olympics. They're expected to be contenders for Copa America. So, we're probably going to lose them for close to a month and a half, 2 months. And MLS is not stopping play for Copa America. Why? When it's being hosted in the U.S. is beyond me.
Because this is America.
That is. But, at the same time, Miami's going to lose players like Benjamin Cremaschi, Diego Gomez, Federico Redondo, David Ruiz, other guys who are going to the Olympics for their clubs. So, not for their clubs, for their national teams. Miami's going to struggle. So, yes, it's great that Miami's top of the league right now. It's great that they have 21 points. But between now and basically the end of May, Miami does need to keep winning, because there's going to be a month and a half where I wouldn't be surprised if Miami doesn't win a single game.
We've seen it happen.
And where they struggle to, even get points, get a single point out of these matches, because they're going to be missing pretty much their entire starting 11 and a fair chunk of the bench, because these are players who are going to go play for their national teams.
We've seen those streaks happen. I mean, we've seen like going, 6-game unbeaten streaks and then, lose, upwards of 10, 11 in a row. It can be very torturous. I'm not sure how to feel right now, because for 5 years, this club has always struggled with a positive goal differential. Now we're sitting here with, we're leading the entire league in goal differential. It's amazing, especially last night where we, light it up and Messi gets a brace. Benja comes back on, and I mean, how great is it for him to be able to net one that early in the comeback? And then, of course, Suarez comes in and just hits a beautiful little dime up to the upper left corner. Now, to be fair, New England has been struggling. They are at the very bottom of the East. But let's not forget, I mean, this team did break the record for points in a season. This team did go out, win trophies, and had a hell of a season. And that's how quick the fall off can be, right? I mean, if you dominate the league and those European clubs come knocking, you get some of your players out the door for some money, things can fall apart quickly. And I kind of, mentioned that last night, like, don't laugh at New England, too hard, that this could be us literally in like 2026 or 2027, depending on how it shakes up. But I mean, a game where we were dominant. I mean, it opened up right in the first minute. Let's go ahead and talk about this, because a lot of people love to hate on Drake, I guess. I don't know, probably because they didn't see what he was doing prior to Messi coming here. But game starts off, lovely breaking ball down the right side, gets over. Drake comes out, we'll give him that. No need to really come out to that side in that fashion that he did. We had two defenders closing it down, but little, I don't even want to say chip, just a shot right over him into the net. I mean, first minute of the game, and Chankele goes up and brings it, brings it up 1-0 right away on Messi, right in front of a massive crowd who's all paid a lot of money, and kind of punched Inter Miami in the mouth right away, right? Like, you got a plan, you go up, punch him in the mouth, see how it does. And that was really basically the only highlight of their night. I mean, the rest seemed like they were just weathering an onslaught of possession and an attack from Inter Miami. What's your analysis on that specific play by Drake?
There's no reason for him to come out. There's no reason for him to leave his 6-yard box for that. There were two defenders on Chankele. the ball's wide of the net. I mean, it lands outside of the 18-yard box, and is heading towards the corner. And, as a goalie, you don't need to worry about a shot from that angle, especially first time, which is the only way that Chanclay was taking that shot, because he had two defenders. One of the defenders were going to force him down to the touchline, and instead he makes the decision to come out. It's a foolish one, and Chanclay, credit to him, very smart to recognize it and recognize that no other defender was going to make it back, and just get the quick little chip and gets it behind Drake Callender and into the back of the net. And 30 seconds in, New England's up 1-0.
And to be fair, Drake has made some errors this season, right? And kind of, it's almost like knucklehead kind of decisions. Everyone, we love Drake to death, right? I don't think there's any validity in saying we need to get rid of Drake, because if we put Drake on the market, there's so many teams that would jump on him instantly. I mean, he's one of the best American keepers in terms of talent. I mean, he's third on, rotates really between second, but more third on the depth chart for the men's national team. And then we've got people who want to bring in Romero, old aging keeper. What would you be happy if they got rid of Drake and brought in Romero?
No.
Horrible decision.
No.
Right?
No, I mean, I think somebody suggested De Gea, because that's the big name that we were linked to all summer long last night. And my response was, I'd rather jump into Tampa Bay with a bricks tied around my neck. And I feel the same about Romero, except maybe I'd go tires instead of bricks.
Not around your feet, around your neck. Very oddly specific.
Yeah, around the neck, yeah.
Interesting way to go, bud. Now, record breaking, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. I mean, Messi comes in, 2 goals, surgical assist on that second one by Busquets. What a ball! And then Messi was able to corral it and just put it away. And then, of course, the assist over to Suarez. Let's go ahead and take our shots. He could have had that Hattie, right? Kind of uncharacteristic that he didn't get that Hattie, and at least Benja was able to catch that rebound. But that's really the only bad thing you can say about that man, honestly, because he does break the record. He's the first player in MLS history to record multiple goal contributions in his first 7 games. He's got 16 total goal contributions in his first 7 games. That is a ridiculous stat. He is certainly leading the Golden Boot. He should certainly be leading the MVP race as well. I mean, this was classic Messi. This is what you expect to see. This is why you pay those high ticket prices, right? At least we can say that, those fans that came out to Foxborough last night, they got their money's worth for that upcharge to see Messi. We've seen in the past, there's that upcharge and he doesn't even play. RIP to those fans. I feel for you. That's a little rough, but I mean, hell, he put on a show last night, and it was a spectacular performance. I mean, massive achievement. Anything I said there that you would tweak or change, or are you in agreement with all that?
I think that I'm kind of one of the harshest people on Messi and Messi to Miami, mostly because at this point it's fun. But Messi is the type of player, the type of generational talent that just his presence on the field makes teams change how they're playing, and individual players change how they're playing. And we saw last night that he can make those runs, and the one for where Sergio Busquets played just an inch precision pass to him. He was able to make that run because there were 3 Inter Miami players all standing around the same area, and the defenders are stuck wondering which one's going to be the decoy and which one's going to make the run. And when you have that, when you have Lionel Messi on the field and him being the type of player where you're always worried about him being the one to make the run or make the move that puts you on your ass, you change how you play. You play a little bit more scared, and that's just playing against Lionel Messi.
It's almost like you get starstruck. I mean, and I totally understand that. I will say, I thought, we've seen in multiple games this season that teams will come out and they'll try and agitate or even piss off Messi. We'll see players specifically going at Messi, mouthing off like it's their one moment to end up on, like an Instagram reel of doing that. I really didn't see too much of that last night. I mean, it didn't really work out because, I mean, you certainly don't want Messi pissed off at you because he's gonna shred you apart. But I mean, even if he's perfectly happy with you, he can still shred you apart. I mean, 9 goals, Suarez with 7 as well. Let's give Suarez credit for that lovely little finish yesterday. I saw the lineup come out. I was really excited because I'm a very big Campana supporter. I mean, I've loved Campana since he came on for the benching of Higuain. I think the entire fan base fell in love with him, and the struggle that we've highlighted multiple times is you can't find your form if you're not getting minutes, right? And so Tata has not really been one to sub early many times this season, so Suarez is staying on, and Campana can't really get out there and get comfortable. Really wanted to see him try and get back on track, and the struggles are still there. I really think it's going to take a lot of investment in terms of minutes to get him back to the confidence level that it needs to be at. But even it seems like when he's playing, it's a lot more hold up, and then it's almost like he's been instructed, like lay off to one of the Barca boys, find Messi. And I think that's difficult when you're a target man. You want to get the ball and you want to have a go, but you're trying to fit into this new system and not upset the manager or any of your teammates. And it's kind of, I don't want to say painful, but it's sad to watch because I just want our boy to come back and start netting some goals for us again. What's been your take on Campana?
I think Campana has the talent, but I was talking to somebody the other day, and Campana and his body is his own worst enemy. He should be getting minutes. Suarez should be playing as more of a super sub. He's excelled in that role, even more so than when he starts. And, Campana has had those chances, but it seems like, every 2 games he gets to play, the third one he's out for injury. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to get minutes and get into a run of form when, against, for or against Tata's choice, he's unavailable to play. And, that's what really screws him.
I don't want the team to give up on him. I really don't want to. I don't want them to ship him off to some other club, especially not MLS club, because I can't not support the man. I would hate to see him go somewhere that could really use an additional striker or a primary striker and then blow it up like we've seen happen with so many other Inter Miami players. I really hope that they can get this one on board because we're certainly going to need him, especially as we've already said and mentioned. When we are going to be losing several key players, it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think Suarez up top without a Messi is nearly as effective, as I would have imagined it to be. But there's kind of been some struggles with Suarez if Messi's out. So maybe they're going back to 2 up the top, during that kind of period where we're missing a lot of players. But please get back on track, my man. I'm such a big supporter. I still wear his jersey with pride, but would really love to see him be able to get. I mean, I don't know what's realistic. 12 goals and assists, something like that. Something on that contribution level. Just get back up there and then climb up from there. It's not going to get really any easier. Although it's fun to say that when you're kind of top of everything right now. But we are going to have our follow-up game against the Red Bulls coming up here on May 5th. We get to see our boy return to his original home, now called Chase Stadium. But Lewis Morgan will be coming back in town after laying an absolute shellacking down on us up in New York. Then we got Montreal, Orlando, DC. I mean, what is this? 6 games in May. May is going to be pretty action-packed. Some of these teams are struggling. Some of the teams are, in the top half. Obviously, like Montreal and Orlando are struggling this season. But, we could go on an absolute tear of a win streak here, put up some points before we have to be missing our players. Before, July, we can find excellent form before we get into the Leagues Cup games. And that's going to basically be our only way back into the CCC. What are you most fearful about, if anything, in May? Is it just that Red Bulls game?
It's the Red Bulls game, and then I'm going to say Vancouver. I think Vancouver is a sneaky good team, and I think you're playing in Vancouver with a Wednesday home match. We're going to be flying back and across the nation, in only a few days. I think that, they're sneaky good. They have the advantage of being, such a far trip for us that, if there's 2 matches that I'm looking at on the calendar that I'm saying, we could potentially struggle in these, it's those 2.
I am a low key underground Ryan Gauld fan. I'm also really looking forward to the DC game. I mean, I think Benteke is just proving that he was a quality purchase. He really is. I feel like that could be a pretty exciting game. And then, you gotta love going up to Orlando, playing in the newly minted Inter & Co Stadium. That's going to be a hell of a time.
I think that's going to be a great game. I think Orlando is struggling this season. I think they made a mistake extending Oscar Pereira, and Luis Muriel hasn't looked like the signing that they expected him to be. But it's always a fun and raucous time going up to Orlando. Of course, they put it on Wednesday night because they're scared that they don't want too many of us coming up and invading our second home, our home away from home in the land of the rat.
We don't even have to come though. They'll just come. There's Messi fans in every single city. They're just going to show up. It doesn't matter. You can't run from it. I do think that they're a better team than where they're currently ranked, though. So I feel like they are a team that could snap out of this some point coming up here, kind of towards the middle of the schedule, and start playing to more of the expectations that they, honestly should be playing. But hey, Orlando could be at the bottom half of the table for as long as they want, and we will be happy for that. Or they could be at the top of the table and we beat them, and we're happy for that. Either way, what we will be upset about is if we lose to a bottom of the table Orlando, because we hate losing to them anyway. But exciting times. I just saw an email go out too. So the League Cups games will be coming up. I believe those tickets are going on sale. First match is Puebla. At Chase Stadium. But all in all, man, no need to really go through any deep dives here. It's just kind of really good, really positive vibes all around, the club right now. This is what we expected. This is what we were promised when we got Messi, and this is what we're delivering on. So 2 more years of this, and we'll be a really happy bunch, and we'll kind of go against the grain in terms of spiteful South Florida fan bases. But again, that could turn real quickly if we go on like an 8-game losing streak once Messi's over there, representing Argentina.
Yeah, and I think that, Miami fans, they have to be really happy right now. They have to enjoy what they're getting right now. And I think it's not going to last forever. June, July is going to be a struggle. Miami fans, it's going to be a really big struggle without Lionel Messi, probably Diego Gomez, Redondo, Benjamin Cremaschi, so on and so forth, all missing due to either Copa America or the Olympics. So the summer is going to be a struggle. So don't don't get your expectations too high, because there's going to be a period this season where, we're going to be looking back and saying, wow, it was nice being, first of the table. It gave us a little bit more breathing room for when we inevitably end up in like 5th or 6th and the dog days of July, because we've been playing without half the team for, going on a month and a half.
Yeah. Well, like, you got to feel pretty confident right now, right? That we're I mean, unless something wild happens, we're certainly going to be in the MLS Cup playoffs, right? Like, I mean, 7 is very obtainable at this point of the season. But what do you expect? Let's say we hit a classic kind of Inter Miami losing streak there, right? Let's say we drop down to, we'll give you the 5th or the 6th. What are your expectations after that? Like, right, post that point, do you think we can climb back up and reclaim top of the East? Can we pop back up and steal the supporter shield if we slide down that much?
I think we can. I think that, the only real threat to the supporter shield this season for me, feels like a Cincinnati or an LAFC, especially now that LAFC is getting Olivier Giroud come after the Euros this summer. And
that hurts me.
Just the most beautiful man in this league by a million miles.
I'm still going to go Campana, but he's I love him.
No.
I love him.
No, Olivier Giroud in the black and gold of Los Angeles. Woo, baby.
It's going to be a hard kit. I'm begrudgingly going to have to purchase that kit. I mean, the best part is you and I love him for different reasons, right? You love him from France. I love him from Chelsea.
French legend.
Yeah, just
absolutely.
He's
going to be the reason France lifts the Euros again this year. And to all my Argentina homies, how many times have you guys lifted Copa America? Once? Ooh. Ooh. You're not like France.
You just love pissing people off.
I do, and I can't wait for the comments on Twitter in a few days when this comes out, and they're all like, we won the World Cup. And I'm like, okay, we won it 4 years before you,
the spurned
and beat you
Frenchman.
On the way there.
The spurned Frenchman. He's not going to let it go. And he's been able to go ahead.
Listen, we should have won that match too in 2022, but just going to leave it there before I start getting death threats again.
Well, I think he could come here and dominate with LAFC, but this is just a fun little catch up here. I mean, I don't really have any other breaking comments other than Benja. Keep it up, buddy. We'd love to see you back and thriving. What's just because you're so good at this stuff, what's the timetable on Redondo? And obviously Gomez went down with the injury as well. I think the initial estimate was 6 weeks for Gomez. And is that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that about the same time Redondo's going to come back as well?
Redondo should be back in full training within the next 2 weeks. He'll probably be playing again by mid to late May. Diego Gomez is looking at probably late May. Paraguay needs to decide if they're calling him up for Copa America or sending him to the Olympics. Miami's already told them that they can have one and not the other. So, we're looking like we're going to be mostly full strength within a month and a half, and that's very rare for Miami. Knock on wood, because I doubt it's going to last long.
Yeah,
but it's Miami should be able to have a full strength squad, starting 11 and bench, within the next month and a half, and we haven't been able to say that all season, so it's going to be really nice to see that.
Yeah, the rotational power will be quite nice. And unfortunately for us, Busquets no longer represents Spain. So he's going to be here. Obviously, he's going to be a starter, right? He's not playing anymore. When's the last time he played for Spain? I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, both him and Jordi
retired
from international.
So, we have to assume Busquets is going to be that central piece. So let's have some fun here. Flanking Busquets out of the three, right? Redondo, Benja, Gomez. Which two do you want to see?
In an ideal world, I want to see Gomez and Benja. In reality, it'll be Gomez and Redondo. I just think that Benja has more of a offensive mind than Redondo does. I think Redondo's more defensive. While Gomez, has shown his offensive upside, but has the ability to come back and be, a really strong defensive presence as well.
I will take Redondo and Benja. I think Redondo, no lie, if he can just stay healthy for the rest of the season, I mean, the way he was progressing games to games and just seamlessly fit in, which is quite rare. Usually people takes a little bit of time to adjust to this league. I really think he is probably has the ability to be the best player on this team that's not named Messi.
Well, and I think Gomez is the first one that's going to get sold. His agent's already talked to Brighton, and in turn, Brighton's already talked to Chelsea. Jay, a Chelsea fan, if you didn't know, should be laughing harder at that joke.
It took a while to hit. That was great. That was touche, well played. You've been holding on to that one, I feel like.
I really have.
I had to connect the dots there for a second. Yep.
Redondo, I think, is going to be the second one to be sold. Just by the virtue of these are players that have already been tracked by European clubs. I think Ruiz, Benja Cremaschi, Ian Fray, Noah Allen, Facundo Farias when he comes back, Toto Alvios. All of these players are going to be sold in the next 2 years, if you ask me. But I think Diego Messi's Gomez.
Gone, what's the point for them, right? I mean, again, you already mentioned several of these were already tracked to European teams before coming over here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're fine.
I feel like Gomez is certainly going to go. I feel like that's been. He's cocking back the water bottle.
Oh fuck!
Okay, well, hey, look, I told you you can say a couple aggressive curse words on here, so there you go. You completely missed your shot. Probably spilled water all over your front door. But I think Gomez will certainly be gone because this has kind of always been the stepping stone. But I would like to see Redondo stick around for a bit. I think he could actually absolutely dominate. And again, enjoy it while it's here, while it's now, because again, we could very well be the New England Revs, unless maybe Griezmann comes here, or unless maybe Neymar comes here. I think once Messi's gone, we're gonna see Boosie leave, obviously Suarez, obviously Alba, and I think a lot of these young players that were coming here, because let's be honest, I think was it Real Madrid was even considering Redondo, but it's appealing to come over here and play with Messi. So once he's gone, I feel like we could see a mass exodus. So enjoy it while it lasts now, because you could very well be experiencing what all of us have experienced for the previous 4 years once that day happens. But got to stay positive right now, man. A lot of good things to look forward to. Any other important stories or anything you've seen that is worthy of highlighting, or just anything, you need any personal advice or anything you need from me at this moment?
Nick Marcanich is arguably the best player in USL right now. He's absolutely killing it for my Charleston Battery. And I know this has nothing to do with Inter Miami, but I don't care. You guys are forced to listen to this on Twitter because I'm a Charleston Battery fan too. But yeah, Nick Marcanich, his brother actually plays for St. Louis City in MLS. If I was Chris Henderson, I would sign Nick Marcanich right now. I love that kid.
Have you tweeted Chris yet?
No, I don't think I'm allowed to tweet Chris anymore per the non-contact agreement that I was forced to sign.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll try and put a little.
This is a joke. This is a joke, everybody. They haven't made me sign one of those yet.
Not yet. They let you run pretty wild without trying to guide you. I'd say I put more limits on you than the club ever will. But my limits are stop cussing.
Yeah, for the most part, the club leaves me alone. But whenever I talk to Ian Hess, he tells me I'm not allowed to curse so much. But one, I like to curse. Two, some of my tweets are really freaking funny when I curse, especially when you have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about. I know half you guys who do follow me on Twitter did yesterday, where I tweeted just completely randomly, mostly because I was at the Florida Panthers game in Tampa, where I just like tweeted like the F word 3 separate times in one tweet, and everybody was like, "You good?" Like I think even like Southern Legion responded to it, and they're like just question marks. It's like, I'm watching a hockey game, guys. Relax.
I mean, that's perfect for the hockey games or foul-mouthed events. Look, I saw a study that it says people who curse often are more intelligent. So I will stand by that. I do curse like a sailor off mic, but I try and put together a show children can listen to. I'm just trying to do my part.
If you guys want like an R-rated show, at least the first 20 minutes of it, I suggest finding wherever I did the last Trav Chat. I think it was after Miami lost to Monterey. I did that with Ian Hess, but Ian Hess was basically like he was busy with the press conference for the first like 20 minutes. So he texted me. He was like, "Yo, like just get started. Like I'll hop on when I can hop on." And I think it was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I literally had just gotten back home from a bar watching the game. And I think I just put my phone down, and if you put that episode on TV, the first 20 minutes of it before Ian came in and was like, "All right, let me bring some control to this," was just like one long bleep. And I've gone back. I never listen to my own Trav Chats because I hate listening myself.
Yep.
But I went back and listened to that one the next day, and it was absolutely hilarious. So if anybody wants a good laugh, IMCFTraveller on Twitter. You can check out the last Trav Chat whenever I did it. I should pin that at some point, but
might get a letter in the mail from the FCC, but whatever. Live a little.
That wouldn't be the first time. Yeah. Shout out when I used to pirate movies back when I was like a little like 9-year-old.
Oh goodness! Now we're gonna get into the tour and the lime wires and the self-incrimination. Let's wrap it up here, buddy. I appreciate you making the time to swing by on such a positive episode. You're lucky. You're lucky you come on, you get the good episodes. One of these days I'm going to bring you on. I'll bring you on for the losing streak, and maybe I'll adjust my amount of curse words you can say. We'll just have fun with it. We'll just have to put a disclaimer. We do mark every episode as explicit, but we'll really put a disclaimer on there and just let you be the best version of you, the one that we all know and love.
I think that'd be a great idea. I think it'd be better if we did like an episode like that live, just because, listen, kids, if you guys are going to listen to this show afterwards, at least listen to it live and listen to me say every single dirty word that comes to my mind live.
We'll do
and look it up as you go.
We'll do a live episode from a table at a pub or something.
Yeah, no, we'll do that, and then just on the side will be like a dictionary that we have some third-party moderator just bringing up the definition of every single dirty word I can think of.
We'll have like a counter. We'll see how high you can get.
It'll be like the South Park episode.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make a drinking game out of it. But oh goodness, good times ahead, fun times so far. Thank you everyone for tuning into the Enter Mind Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at EnterMIA Podcast. Still battling with Instagram. I'll let Than address that when he wants to. Plug yourself, my friend.
You can follow me if you want to or not at IMCFTraveller on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Children, if you're listening to this, I suggest not following me because, well, your parents aren't going to like me more, any more than they already don't. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
He's a role model. He is a role model you want to strive to be. But until next time, everyone, as we end every single episode, vamos, Miami.
Vamos, Miami.